Hey everybody, Pip here from queenpipcards.com and the Card Making Know-How membership. I'm just jumping on. I know I'm a tad early. I thought I'd just jump on, make sure that you're all able to hear me. Sometimes I have sound issues and it's a bit of annoying. So Betty or Sue, if you're on, because I know you're on early, can you let me know if the sound's okay?
Sue, very quiet.
Am I very quiet, am I? Oh, let's try that. Is that a bit better? Hopefully that will be a bit better. Pull my microphone into place. Hi, Melly. Oh, Betty says it's nice to get an extra hour sleep. Hi, Amy. Hi, Paula. Everything's coming okay. Good. And yes, I can be heard. My husband's great. He always comes and gives me a hand and says yes, whether he can. Well, when he's here. When he's not here, then I'll. Everyone else will have to help me out. Okay, so today, hi Joe. Today we won't talk about Joe being here. She's not supposed to be here. So today we're looking at foil and flowers. Okay, so flowers and foil in combination, not in combination. I'm going to show you various things that you can do with foil. Sometimes foil I think is a little bit intimidating for people because it's so nice and shiny you don't want to cut it. Somebody else is here from Facebook. Hello. I will come and say hello to you in the group, but if you want to have your name on here and go into the comments and go in for a draw to win one of my cards, then you need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let them say and just say yes, that they can have your name so that they know who you are. So if you go there, then because you're on this stream, it should pick that up and then they'll allow me to see your name. So give that a try, because we've got somebody here who's finally able to join a Monday session live. Yay! Very good. Kay's here. Hi, Kay. Hi, Nola. Everybody's we're having a busy one this today. That's great. It's lovely to see you all. We had a fantastic class on Saturday, and we did florals then on Saturday as well. So I'm going to share with you one of the cards which I put up in the group and everyone just fell in love with. I'm trying to think. It was this one. No, it wasn't that one. Where's it gone? Oh, I've lost it. No. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. There it is. So I put this one up in the group and everyone was like, oh, that's amazing. How did you do that? How did you make that? What technique was that? Did you use blending? You know, what did you do with that? Well, I hate to tell you, but it's so simple. It's a bit of paper and a stamp on a label. That's it. So I'll show you that. I'll show you some other bits. So should we put hands down and then we can start to see some things, some cards. Oh, Jane says she's going to have to leave about 1 o'clock. That's okay. That's fine. Don't panic. Right. Let's put some lights on down this way. There we go. And some more light on down this way. And then we'll be ready. Okay. So, yeah. So this was the card that I shared. And it is just a piece of paper. So, you know, when you get lovely pattern papers and you might not know what to do with them. I did a whole live on what to do with bold papers. Well, this is what you can do with ones that are just pretty. Pop it on a card, that blank. Add a little sentiment at the bottom, some words on a lovely little die. Keep it subtle. Leave all the impact coming from the paper, and there you go. Really simple card, but had so many people going, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing! That's fabulous!" So I just want to show that if you're a beginner card maker, you don't have to go fancy to get a wow from people. You just maybe have to buy some fancy paper. Or I bet you've got some probably in your stash. So be okay with being simple. I think that's my message. Okay, so you can be simple and it will still look lovely. Here's another one. Paper, a label. This is cut from the paper, and then just some words. So again, very simple. This die, I'm getting questions. Betty says, where's that die from? That's from Painted Labels from Stampin' Up. So it went with the Poppy die set. This is Irresistible Blooms. which currently is not available. It's out of stock. Shows you how popular it's been. This is a different version. Again, just paper. Now, you could absolutely recreate this and, you know, do it with all blending and splattering and all that kind of stuff. But if you're new and you want something to look fancy, grab yourself some decent paper. That's my motto. And then again, I just popped on. So I think those two, you know, they're different, but quite similar. And then what else am I going to show you today? So let's talk about flowers first off. Just some simple stamped flowers and how beautiful that they can be. And if you're just joining us, hello. Oh, we've got Sharon, Margaret, Sue, Jean. Yeah, fantastic. Hello, lovely to see you all. But some simple stamped flowers. These were stamped using, this was a design by one of my team, Jenny. And she designed the card where you coloured this bit in first with yellow and then went around the edges in green with a dauber. And isn't it just stunning? So simple, but very, very elegant. So that's cards. Oh, and here's another one. Look at this. Again, very simple. This is Nature's Prints. Just a sort of floral image with a few little die cuts thrown in behind. And then a sentiment. This one was designed again by Jenny. Love Jenny. Jenny and I have very similar tastes in that we like simply stylish, elegant cards. So that was lovely. And then this one was designed by my upline, actually. So my team leader, Diane. And this is using just a two-step stamp. So you stamp the outside first and then the inside in a different colour. So you get that. You get those two different tones. And she's just created it in a wreath using the Stamparatus. It's just so gorgeous. So florals can work really nicely on their own. And we'll come back. We've got another couple to show you later. But then you can also do fun things with foil. So, for example, this is a fun design using actually a die that's from Irresistible Blooms. So you see how this paper has got this motif of the dots and the lines going down. Well, Stampin' Up have created this die that has the dots and the lines going down, and I think it's gorgeous. And here I've jazzed it up just by adding just a little bit of silver foil on the back of here. So it's like a monochrome, but not quite because of the silver and the rhinestones. So that's one way of using foil. And then we come into what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do today, which is actually using the foil on a card. So I have, this was my other card that I made. I got the original version of it. That's the original version of it. No, I don't seem to have the original. I don't know what I've done with that. That was around here earlier, but there we go. So I'm going to show you how to make this card. And we are going to use Irresistible Blooms, but you could use any floral for this. Okay, so I'm just going to use this small flower here. And then the little hello. And it's a really, really simple card, but it looks fancy, especially when we upgrade it with foil. So I really wanted to show you the before and the after kind of versions. What have I done with those? Oh, I definitely had them here earlier. I don't know what I've done with that. I've put them down somewhere and I've lost it. Never mind, I'll show you. You'll see. Okay, so all I've got is, actually I can show you here. So I originally used a dark green base with a bright yellow front and then some leaves on top of it, like so, pulling in the yellow. And we're just going to put some ribbon around it and we're going to tie a bow and we're going to stamp a flower. That's how I had originally envisaged it. And then I thought, oh, it would be so much nicer if we, instead of the gold, instead of the yellow, we made that with gold. Isn't that nice? Can you see? Oh, it's really sparkly. I mean, that really sets it up a tone, doesn't it? Really nice. And then I thought, yeah, but I quite like the embossing. So then I went and I embossed the gold. Now, doesn't that look stunning? So that's now going to be our base piece for our card. So we're going to have a beautiful embossed piece of gold, and then we're going to add the other elements to it. So this time I might just use the other side of this and make it a bit more splotchy. I'm going to cut that down to 14, oops, to layer 1 sizing, because that's where we're up to at this point. Go in there. We'll stick that down to this. Now, if you've been ever watching any of my videos before, you'll know that I do not like to use glue on foil. Like if I'm gluing the foil down, I'm going to use not snail, because that's a blast from the past, seal. But to stick paper onto foil, you can definitely use glue, and it will help it stick within that embossed area. Okay, so let's just pop that down. In fact, I think I might like it that way better. So put this down here, make sure it's straight. Oh look, I've got an edge. Make sure it's straight. See, sometimes paper, this is something you can get, it can catch you off. Paper can cut different size to foil and card just by a smidge, which is a technical term and has no actual meaning in as such. No, that's still not enough of a smidge. It has no actual measurement in real money. But you just need to chop off that smidge so that they line up. Okay, it's tiny. Oh dear. Right, let's get rid of the smidge. Okay. Then we're going to bring in that colour from behind. So we will use our seal because we're going on to gold. Plus it's ribbon. Always use seal for ribbon. Okay. Because it's a dry glue, so it helps to just get it attached without it getting wet. Oh, I can see comments coming in. Let's have a look. Oh, Jane, Sue says that she had a lovely class on Saturday. Good, glad you enjoyed it. It is brilliant for newbies, actually. I think it's a great set. It's not available at the minute, but it will be. Okay, so that's that on there. And then Betty says, is that one of the new embossing folders? Yes, it is one of the new basics embossing folders. So you get 3 in a set of basics embossing folders. Where are they? Here. So you get that one, and then you get this one and this one. So this one's like a polka dot, massive, great big dots. This one's more like a flower. If I stick some card behind it, you can see it a little bit better. See, it's like a flower image, starfish image even. But it comes out more like a flower, but with some like lines behind it. It's lovely, that one. And this one is just big dots. Like big dots. Lovely big dots. And then, of course, the other one you've seen comes out looking like this. Oh, you can't see that. Looking like this. But on gold, looking like that. Which is pretty stunning, isn't it? Yeah. I love using foil and embossing folders, and we actually had a conversation in one of my groups, in my free group, about embossing paper and it cutting through. And generally, that's some people said, "Oh, wet the paper and stuff." You can do that. I never wet any paper or any card, apart from occasionally if it's really heavy, thick card or really heavy, thick foil. Foil can be a bit of a nightmare to emboss, but this embossed beautifully. Sometimes people say, oh, I can't emboss foil, it's whatever. This just went through like a dream. So, and I didn't wet it or anything like that. I just literally popped it on, sent it on its way, and it went through perfectly and came out looking like this. So I think sometimes it's your tightness of your machine. Sometimes it's the thickness of your foil. So like if you have a heavier GSM or poundage, that can affect everything. If you're finding that, try just adjusting your plates to the point where it doesn't tear or rip the paper. It could also be just very bad paper. I'm not trying to diss anyone else's paper, but sometimes it's very thin and flimsy, like wrapping paper, for example. Embossing folders can just cut through that. So just make sure you've got a decent quality paper is what I would say. That's why I use Stampin' Up, just because I love the papers. Okay, I've forgotten my yellow. I need a yellow. Okay, so we're going to just tap a little flower on here. And notice I'm just tapping and then checking to make sure I've got ink on it. Don't need to do any more than that. I'm going to pop the flower down here, nice and light. There we go. And then we're going to add the hello right to the top of this. We need to come over. Remember what you're doing when you're doing words or anything you're a bit worried about. You're just going to breathe in and then breathe out as you stamp. And then that way you're holding no tension in your hands whatsoever. And you can just stamp your hello on your cardstock. And it stops you getting shaky, stops you doing all kinds of things. So that's just a little tip on stamping. I think that one needs a bit of a rest upside down. Let's take this one out instead. I always have a couple of pots of glue on the go because sometimes they just get to a point where they need to all travel down to the bottom, especially if I've been using it lying it flat on the desk. So I always have a couple of pots on the go. It's really easy that way. Okay, nice. Then we're going to bring that back over. I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to pop it up with some dimensionals so it's got a bit of dimension to it. No, it's going to need at least 2 in there and then probably 1 over here. There we go. That'll stop it going and having any soggy middles. We don't want any soggy middles. And it goes through the post. Who else has joined us? Oh, Faye's joined us from Maryland. Haha. Got it right this time. Nola says she loves the one that's the gold. Sue says hello to everybody. That's very nice. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on just there. Like so. And then to finish it off, I'm just using a piece of this ribbon. Not quite finished off yet because I need to put some stuff on it. And just tying a bow in that. And you should be able to get a nice bow out of that. And then tighten it. And tighten it. There we go. Lovely. And then you can just push it along a little bit further because it's not actually attached to anything, if you know what I mean. It's just tied round. And there you have a nice bow sitting next to your flower and foil card. It's pretty, isn't it? I think that's come out nice. And then if you wanted to, you could finish it off with some gems. Some little butterflies would work nicely on here. Actually, I think I'm going to use, last time I used flowers, these big floral gems. But the gold is slightly a different colour to that gold. And that's something you'll find in your embellishments. Sometimes the gold is slightly different, but this is the same. So we'll do butterflies. These are brushed gold. And I think by the time it's been through the embossing folder, it looks more brushed. So we'll just pop a couple of these on. Using my favourite tool ever, the Take Your Pick tool. Oop, she says, come on. Ugh, these ones need the other side. Need the other side. Come on. There we go. I love it because you can work it both ways. So we can put some large ones on, like so, and then we can have a little diddy one. I should put the little diddy one just underneath, like so. There we go. So now we've got some gold butterflies with some gold foiling and a floral design. How easy was that? So simple. Thank you. Green is your colour. Oh, well, that's brilliant, Kay. Can I go to your house and make bows? Betty, you're not the first that's asked me that. I actually have a YouTube video. It's called How to Make a Bow the Queen Pip Way. And it helps a lot of people on how to make bows because there is a trick to it and a technique to it. So have a look on my YouTube channel for how to make a bow the Queen Pip Way. And you will see that. And hopefully that will help you. Sharon says that's really lovely, very pretty, thank you. And then someone says, love your card, beautiful. Thank you very much. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much. I'm sure I will when I go and have a look in the Facebook groups. Okay, so that's that one. So see how the gold foiling can be used. And we've got the three options. We could have gone with the yellow embossed like this. It's harder to see on the yellow, funnily enough. Kind of goes a bit blurry. Or the plain gold, which would have looked nice too. But I think combining the two together and then having that embossed look is lovely. So that's one way of using foil with florals. The next way is to actually use a design which includes florals in it, if you see what I mean. So we're going to go with this one. So this is some paper that's just got foiling on it. So, you know, sometimes you might get some foiled papers. Oh, you can see that's all very shiny, shiny. Oh dear, I don't know how to show it to you best, but it is gorgeous, absolutely lovely. And then I'm matting it onto a piece of copper. Okay. Oh, it's Anne. Hello, Anne. Lovely. Thank you. So for this, because we're doing copper, you know, foiled onto foil, definitely use the seal. Lots of people will say, oh, don't waste all that. You've got to cut that out and turn it into a frame underneath, or die cut something from the inside. Don't waste that bit in the middle. And if you're layering card onto foil, I'd say yes. But when you're layering paper, if somebody runs their fingers over that card, and I do that quite a lot, when you get a card that's tactile, it's just beautiful to run your hands over. Under paper, they will feel that depression and that cut underneath, and they'll think, what's that? What's going on there then? Why has that got a cut bit out? So I don't like to cheat my customers like that. I don't like to have my lovely ladies and gents who get my cards feeling like there's something there that they don't understand. So I always mat fully with my copper if it's going, or any foiling if it's going onto, if it's paper going onto copper, if it's paper going onto foiled card, purely because you can feel through it. Now, if I was layering this with paper, with cardstock, that would be a different matter altogether, and I would absolutely want to maybe save the middle portion of that, or die cut something out of it that I could use on a different card. But since it's going, paper straight onto foiled card, I don't like to take the chance. Okay, now I'm matting that with pink. Am I? Yes, matting that with pink. There we go. And then again, because it's foiled, we don't want to have any lumps and bumps, although to be honest, since it's been covered up, it should be fine. But I just want to make sure. We're going to layer that with, again, seal. Now, I always check my top corners are matted correctly, because if I've cut everything correctly, it should automatically just go straight down from there and work perfectly. Oh, Sharon's got to go to work. Oh, see you later. Have a good day. Nola says, wow, how did I miss that paper? Yeah, it's online. It's the online exclusives, so you won't it's not in a catalogue. You have to go and look at it on the online store, and it may be available or may not, depending on markets. So that's that. And then I'm going to stamp a flower on top of that, and I'm using these from Dainty Delight, just because I thought they really went They went really well with the actual design on the paper. They seem quite similar. And I'm using Cajun Craze because that's a great colour to use with copper cardstock or paper or foiling. There we go. And then we'll just, I want to make sure I don't get that edge. Oh, I've got an edge. Don't want to have an edge. It's better. So, just going to pop that down there like that. Okay, so it's nice and light, nothing heavy. I'm going to take my blender pen and just make sure it's clean, first of all. Yep. Just pull these pull the ink into these little dots. And a blender pen is great to do this with because it just pulls them in and doesn't really do any harm to the paper. You know, if you put watercolor on there, it could make the paper pill. But if you're just like dotting around like this is not going to do anything, especially with this specially designed. It's basically a glycerin pen. So just pull that ink in like so. And now we have a very pretty label, I think, to add to our card, and see how those colours kind of match with that. They go quite well. And again, then I'm just going to do a very simple label in white. Here we go. And in Dainty Delight, we've got some nice words. I like Celebrate You. I use Celebrate You a lot, actually. Mainly for my team and customers who get prizes and stuff like that from me. I like giving out prizes. Okay, now I'm not sure, is that straight to that? Yeah, kind of. It's kind of straight to that, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, that's all right. No, that's all right. Okay, we'll just chop the end off of that. Put that underneath the label. I don't think I want it going across the top. No, I prefer that going underneath. Will it fit underneath? Oh, no, it won't. It needs to come on top, so it needs to be smaller. Okay. So we'll chop this down. And we'll chop this down. Like so. That'll fit. Nice. Okay, so we'll have to go over the top of it. Sometimes I like tucking them under, but if it has to go over the top, it has to go over the top. So now we're going to pop some of these down. So if this is your first time watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Pip Todman. And as I said, I run Queen Pip Cards and the Card Making Know-How membership, where I teach women how to go from beginner to confident card maker in 4 easy stages. And we've been having some great success in the membership with people really learning new techniques, learning new card making skills, really stepping up their card making from when they started to when they to where they are now. Not saying that they finished, but they've definitely made progress. And that's what I like about my membership. It helps you to take organized progress through the stages of card making. So you learn how to design your own cards. You learn how your style works. You learn techniques and tricks, but you also learn, how to understand all the design elements of card making or any kind of creative design, and how you can bring that into your own card making at home and enjoy it even more, because you don't waste time spending 6 hours on Pinterest and never getting anything done, but collecting loads and loads and loads of really great pictures of cards you'd love to make if only you knew how to do it, or if only you actually had the time to do it after you'd spent 6 hours searching through Pinterest. So I'm not knocking Pinterest. I like Pinterest, but there's a time and a place where you have to stop and you actually have to go and make some cards. So in the membership, in my design foundations course, I teach you how to do that. So you don't lose the Pinterest button, but you take it and you actually turn it into card making. And then you find something which is even better, which is your own kind of way of making cards, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, etc. So if you're interested in that, it's very simple. You just jump over to cardmakingknowhow.com and you can join us today. Now, what do we need to finish that off? A little couple of dots possibly, I think, maybe, I don't know. Thank you. It is simple, isn't it? Yeah, really simple. I like simple because I think it shows off that you've thought about the card. I mean, I know when you make it really complicated, you've definitely thought about the card. But sometimes you just need to let the elements breathe. You don't need to overcomplicate things. They can breathe perfectly well on their own if you just give them a bit of space and a bit of time to be enjoyed. There we go. I think that's enough. It doesn't need more than that. So now we have a simple card, and it's got just a few little embellishments just tucked in here and there around the sentiment and the flowers, with just a little, just a bit of baker's twine. Another bow, Betty, sorry. There we go. But yeah, so that's how to use foil papers. We've got how to use actual foil behind things. We've got foil as just layers. I'm actually going to run this one up as well. And then we've got another card to come, and I've got a couple of other examples as well to show you. Plus we've looked at just basic cards as well. So let me show you this die in action. Not in action because I'm not actually going to cut it out, but you know what I mean. So let's just do that because I've got these pieces here ready for us. So this is such a simple card. Again, me, simple, love it. This is definitely my style, is simple cards that you can knock up quickly. And there's nothing wrong with having a card that you can knock up quickly if it looks amazing. So you can do this even if you don't have this particular die. Maybe you have like a, I don't know, really nice metallic washi tape, or you have a beautiful ribbon, or you have stickers, or you have some other element that can just form a cascade down the paper. That's all you really need for a card like this, is just something to draw the eye downwards, because then your circles are going to draw the eye across. And so you'll automatically have balance in your card. And we talk about balance quite a lot in the membership as well. We're coming up on 2 years. Can you believe it? 2 years. There are some people here who've been members for 2 years. And we've had a lot of fun in that time. Especially when you get to come to the card class for free, which is always good. And this week we've got our Ask Queen Pip night. That's always fun as well. They just throw questions at me, which is great. I do ask that people put questions up in you know, ahead of time, but sometimes I think they just enjoy just making things up on the spot and asking me, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. So we can pop this down, and I haven't used adhesive sheets for this. You can use adhesive sheets. I was worried that they would be difficult to pull off, but actually my friend Alison, who's also admin in one of my groups, she helped. She did one, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And she did adhesive sheets, and it was actually really simple. So now that she's shown me the way, I will use adhesive sheets in future because they are a little bit easier. But it doesn't take much to do a bit of gluing, and then it's done. Okay, so we'll pop this then down on our card base, like so. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm getting a lot of love in the comments. Thank you. There we go. Oh, that's nice, Paula. I love that. I've got a bigger order of stuff coming. We all love it when we get craft supplies, don't we? It's one of those happy days. Happy days indeed. Right. So to finish this off, because, you know, quite frankly, we've got that stunning piece of delicate die cutting whizzing down the side there. I've just chosen to ink my thank you in black to mirror that. And I'm inking it up quite a lot because mine needs re-inking, so bear with me. I know it's a bit faint. Okay, so we're going to come down here. Remember to breathe in. And then remember to breathe out as you stamp, like so. And I've just, whoops, there we go. I've just popped this onto a die cut, like a circular die cut, which will then sit on top of another circular die cut made of foil. So I think in my original, I just layered it up once. So I glued that to that and then layered it up. You could layer it up as many times as you want. Just depends on what you like. Yeah, so I caught it. Don't panic. I caught it. I caught your little typo. Do not panic. Okay. And Kay says she loves her UPS man. Yes, I also love my UPS man. I used to have one that came regularly and we got really good, almost, you know, chatting and really good relationship. He'd always like let me know if he was going to be late or, you know, where did I want to put stuff and all that. Then he went off and started managing everybody. So now I have different people all the time. So it's like, come back. But they're all pretty good, to be fair. All right, pop that down on here. There we go. And then this one I finished with rhinestones because rhinestones are the closest thing we have to silver, unless you've actually got some silver embellishments. I do have some silver dragonflies, which would look nice, but what I really like doing is following the design of the die. Okay, so this is all covered in dots. So I pulled out my rhinestones, lots of them, various different packets, and popped on these rhinestones on some of the dots because these fit perfectly on the big dots, like so. So you could put some of the large ones on if you wanted to. And then have I got any smaller ones? You can see I use the smaller ones more than I use the big ones. No, I have to open this one. Joe's got a question about shipping. Could use diamonds, Dave. Oh, hi, David. Yeah, absolutely. You could use diamonds. They'd be nice. I haven't got any of those, but yeah, diamonds would be good. And then Joe says, is the issue with shipping sorted? Yeah, it was just one container, Joe, that had problems with paperwork and stuff in it. So yeah, as far as I know, it's all sorted. Everybody's orders are arriving, so that's good. So the next container won't have a problem. It was just unfortunate that one container had to go all the way back to Frankfurt to be reissued with shipping tracking stuff and whatever, because customs wouldn't accept the container because somebody in the container didn't do their paperwork. I'm not even convinced it was Stampin' Up. It's happened before, but it's just a rare occurrence. Okay, so there we go. So that was that one. Really simple. Oh, I've got a lot of rhinestones here. Hang on, let me get rid of those. And then I've got another couple to show you and do. I've got one more to do, and I've got some more to show you. So let's show you another one with this for now. So this is the one that Alison did. And instead of foil, she used this shimmer paper. Can you see that's got a shimmer to it? And in blue, obviously, one of my favourites is this purpley blue, which I love. Orchid Oasis, one of my favourites. Although, no, this is Starry Sky. She did it also in Orchid Oasis, which was gorgeous. So you can see the difference between horizontally, vertically, shimmer, plain. You know, it's just a lovely die to do stuff. Yeah, Joe, I'm sure it'll be there soon. I can look into that for you. Just double check. Just ping. Can you ping me an email, Joe, just to remind me to double check your order? That'd be lovely. Hey, Laura, it's lovely to see you too. I know it's different. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Paula. You spent $700 or pounds or whatever. Oh, I know. You just have to do. I know. It's one of those things. We can all go a bit crazy when we come to ordering stuff. Now let's look at some other flowers. Now this one doesn't have any foil on it, but it is another floral set. I just wanted to show you what you can do with, again, pretty paper, a stamp, and some watercolor pencils. This was designed by my friend Cheryl, who lots of you know in our groups. Cheryl's in my team, and she designed this. We had a lovely swap day, basically, where we all made each other's cards. But isn't it just stunning? I obviously had to go with Gorgeous Grape as the colour for the flowers. It was either that or Mellow Mambo, but I decided to go for Gorgeous Grape. So that's a lovely one. And then this one by Jean, using the beautiful fitting florets. And I know, Faye, you were using this on Saturday. So here's another example for you. You could give that a go if you wanted to. So it's got the big one behind, and then the little one in the middle, and then that framed ridged one over the top. And then these die cut elements and a couple of stamped flowers. Now, if you've just got dies, you could easily do something similar to this with just like die cut flowers rather than stamped and die cut flowers, if you see what I mean. So that's another one. Okay, final card of today is, and then I've got another one to show you, and then we'll pull a card. We'll pull a giveaway card. We're doing pretty well, actually. We're not doing bad. This is my 4th card. We're doing good. Excellent. I love to share different ideas with you guys, because it's just, sometimes you just need a bit of inspiration. Oh, I'm going to take a cup of tea. This one, Faye. I know, isn't it beautiful? So lovely. Really nice. Okay. So for those of you who want to find out information about cardmakingknowhow.com, you just go to cardmakingknowhow.com. It's really easy. And then you can find out all about it and decide whether you're interested in coming and joining us. We've got new members joining every day, which is lovely. I woke up this morning and another new member had joined us. So that's brilliant. So I'll drink my tea. Let's get back to work. This one, I'm going to get my blends out in a minute. I haven't brought them to my desk yet because I knew it was going to get a bit busy on here. Just a little bit busy on here. This one, we're going to cut this paper down to size. I always try and leave them like half paper size, so 6 inches or 15 inches or whatever. And I chop the paper down once I know where I'm going to use it. So I want to use it on here. I actually prefer, rather than that big splodge of gold at the top, I actually prefer these leggy bits at the bottom, because that will go better with the card I've got designed. So I need to cut this down to the size of my card. And as I said with paper, sometimes it cuts short. So just, make sure that it cuts correctly. There we go. That's perfect. Again, foil. So we're going to use our tape runner. In my case, that's called a Stampin' seal, but yours might be called something else. I love my seal, though. It is great. Although I do know people who hate it. So I think it's just a personal preference. You might be... I just like having the option of doing both wet glue and dry glue. And I think it's important for multiple reasons to have both in your card collection. Card stash collection, should I say. Okay, so now I'm going to just pop a piece of Cajun Craze on top of this. I'm going to go flat, I think, because we're going to pop the other one up. Oh dear, I love this. Should have seen my desk after Saturday. I know. Don't worry, mine's exactly the same. But then, because we've done our organisation masterclass, we all know where everything goes back, don't we? So we just pop it all back and it all's good. All's good. Okay, so we're going to pop that in the middle there. So it's a little bit more to this edge so that more of this gold shows. That's fine. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go and get let me go and get my blends. 2 ticks. Talk amongst yourselves. dun, dun. That one. Oh, where have they gone? This one? Doesn't look right. Oh yeah, that one. That one. And that one. Ooh. Couldn't work out which one was my colour then. Right, okay, so I'm here. So, have I gone? Oh, that'll do. This is my die cut that I've cut out from a very old set, Nature's Harvest. But I love it because of this bit. Really cool. And because of the dies that go with it. But let's just colour this in for now. So, it's an autumnally kind of colour. You know, because it's a bit dark. But it works with the gold paper so lovely that you've got to give it a chance. There we go. Now I'm just blending that in, lightening that up a little so it's not quite as dark. And we'll just do the same up here. Actually, it can have a little bit of a darker top to it. There we go. And that darker top, I'm going to use a bit of Cajun. Whoops, no, not do that. Pull your lid off, Pip, not your other bits. Oh, see now, Betty, you say you don't get along with your seal. That's interesting. Have you got a silicone mat? This is actually a very large silicone mat that I put down underneath my desk. But have you got one of these? This is our small silicone mat that Stampin' Up does. And if your tape runner gets stuck, you just run it on there and it automatically sets it off again. So it can take off all that gunky stuff that's coming sometimes, like that. And then you're left. I haven't cleaned this. The girls on Saturday will testify to that. I said to them, I should have cleaned this before I put it in, but it would take me 5 minutes or so. And we were in the middle of a class, so I didn't do that. But then you can just rub it off. It just rolls up and disappears off the silicone mat. I use this because this is what I use to work on. So, but a silicone mat saves you a lot of hassle with any tape runner, I think, to keep it going. Okay, so now I've got my dark Daffodil Delight. And we're going to go down here. And just in case you didn't know, Stampin' Up are having a colour refresh this year, which means we're going to see the back of some colours. We're going to have to say goodbye to some colours. Sad face. But we're also going to get some new colours, or some of our favourites are going to come back again. So that's an exciting time. So, for example, we think Pretty Peacock might be coming back again because it's in the Hello Irresistible papers. So we think that might be coming back in again. We're not sure. But if it does, I'll let you know. We're going to find out next week. Now, what that does mean is if you've got any inks on your list of stuff to buy, you've got two choices. Either get them now. I think I picked up my old Daffodil Delights. Oh, it's running out. Oh, could be running out. I'm not buying any new ones till I know which one. Oh, there, see, it's much better on that side. It's because I always use it on the other side. So, yeah, just make sure that you either buy them because you love them or hold off and wait and decide whether you want to or not. But as soon as those colours are announced, it's going to be, you know, while stocks last, you know, get in if you can. Otherwise, they'll be gone. And that's going to happen on the 4th of April. So do not worry. If you're local to me, I will be putting in an order that day. But it'll be going in like early doors. I'll tell you beforehand which colours are going. And we'll try and get as many as we can. First thing, Thursday, the 4th of April. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Oh, Betty says she does have a silicone mat. Okay. That's a shame then that you're still not getting a good result with your those colour with your Stampin' seal, Betty. I'm sorry about that. Don't really know what else to suggest because that seems to be working for me. Now I'm just dotting a few bits of light Cajun craze around just to add a bit of depth. Laura says you're worried about it. You don't have any empty spaces in my ink storage. I know. I think the idea is that you take some out, Laura. Take some out. Get rid of some and put other ones in its place. I know what you mean though, because I've got an extra 10 ink pads, which are the old ink pads. And so I haven't got any extra space either. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to start going in my packing shed. Right, there we go. So then I've got Mossy Meadow. So we'll just put a tiny bit of dark up here where it's going to be dark, because we know it's going to be dark under there. Like so, a little bit down there, just choose a side. And then it's probably going to be darker over here and down here. A little bit darker in there. Definitely a bit darker under here, under that leaf. And maybe a little bit in the middle there. Definitely a little bit darker under here, because this is behind these, but not too much because it is quite a dark colour. So then I'm going to go simply over the top with the light version. Like so. And then up into the leaves. And I'm just going to let the stamp behind, because it is, you can still see the stamp behind it. You'll see it in a minute when I hold it up. Just let that take the weight of the design, if you know what I mean. Not going to do anything extra fancy to it, just colour it in. Because I've got the dark shading I've put in already, and that will automatically help to make that a bit light and shady. Is that a term? Light and shady? Probably. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's now our flower, like so. I hope you managed it. Was I off camera? I hope I wasn't off camera too much colouring that in. Just try. No, okay. Could have been a little bit. But I could tend to migrate down the desk, so shout at me. Okay, so now we're going to stick some dimensionals on the back of that, or foam pads. That's all they are. They're just foam pads. They just have this fantastic shape. That means they fit pretty much anywhere on any shape that you want to put them on, because they're sort of like half circles, half squares. And if you can't fit them on, then you can just cut them in half. So like I keep all the edges pieces as well, like this. And these are the ones I use for things like stems and leaves and, you know, different shaped things. So that's a bit long actually. Let's come shorter. So this one, because it's got that jaggedy edge, look at that, fits that perfectly across there. And then this little piece here, well, that can go, she says, tweezers sometimes help with this, especially if it gets stuck to your finger. That can kind of help up here. And then let's see, we can take half of one of these halves, and that can fit down on that one there, like so. Then we just need some bits for leaves, really, don't we? So we can take possibly 3, no, 2 of those, pop them on there, and then we can just take that half and put that up there. Now it's not perfect, you haven't got it on all of the things. If you want to do that perfectly, I would recommend coming along these ones here and just chopping these down like so, and then that way you get that long thin strip. So if you then want to do that, you can chop some of these off and pop them along your stems, and it gives you a nice eye line to work with. There we go. Oh, thank you, Laura. She also says she can't take any out. She loves them all. I know, it is a bit sad that way, isn't it? But, you know, I'm sure we'll love the new ones or the returning ones just as much. So then you'll just have to buy some more ink storage. It's one or the other. There is no middle ground in that way, sadly. If you love them too much to leave them, then you'll have to buy some more storage for them. Okay, I think that's probably enough. That'll keep us going. That'll keep the flower from going all funny through the mailing machines. So that's basically why I'm doing this. I just don't want it to go funny. I don't want it to get squished. Now, you could get all fancy and wrap stuff around it already, you know, while it's got sticky on its back and all that. I don't deal with anything like that. We're just going to pop that over there like so. So it's going over all of them like so. So it seems to be coming up from the gold and sort of going across like that. And then we just add a bow at the bottom, or some kind of bow at the bottom. Oh, come on. Now, I say some kind of because it doesn't actually have to be a bow, technically. If you've got something like this, this is a linen ribbon. If you tie it in a bow, Betty, pay attention. If you tie it in a bow, it can be quite thick, right? That's quite thick to go on a card. So I have a cheating method, but this is such thin ribbon, like it's such a soft weave. I need my proper scissors, so I get those out. I use a bit of twine, and I've got linen. I've got vanilla color. That's the word I'm looking for. And I just tie this up. So I'm going to tie a knot in the middle of this, but leave myself enough length on the other side because I'm going to do a bow. So tie that up like so, sort of in the middle. Come on, in the middle. There we go. That gives me my flouncy edges. And then, oh, I've left myself way too much here to do a bow. Never mind. I'll do a big bow. There we go. And you can pull that back a little bit. Pull that one back a little bit. There we go. Tighten it up. Nice. Chop that off. Probably cut a little bit of that off. So now we have a bow on a twist, but the twist almost looks like a bow itself. And then we'll just pop that down. And to make it not quite so thick on the actual card, I'm going to glue it in between those two pieces. These are already raised. You don't want to raise any more on top of that. But if you glue it down into that little dip there, you haven't added any extra height to the card, but you've still attached a nice piece of softening, you know, softening ribbon, etc. So we'll pop that in there like so. Pop that down. Oops. Yeah. Get off my fingers. And then you can use your gluey scissors to just pop that down into the hole like so. And then you can just adjust as necessary your bow. So you can make it smaller if you want to. Yeah, that looks kind of okay, a bit smaller than that, I think. Like so. Nice. And then trim off the edges. And then make sure you've got your right scissors, your correct scissors. And I tell that because I put different things on it. So my light pink snowflake, they're my normal scissors. My dark pink crown, they're my proper cutting scissors. And my orange, without anything, they're my gluey scissors. So that's how I keep the... So that's how I know what they're for. And then we could add a sentiment to that. But you know what? I think I might leave it blank. And then we can just say whatever we want about it inside. What do you think? Did I make you laugh there, Joe? Sorry. Vanilla flavour. Well, colour, you know what I mean. Colour, flavour, it's all the same thing, isn't it, really? So that's using the dies with the stamped image of the flowers. Okay, for that one. And then for my last card that I want to show you, this is this one, where I've used the die cut images of the flower and then coloured them with daubers. So now we have one like that and one like that. And I just wanted to show you the difference. This one with just a strip, and this one, it's all over the whole back of that card. So you've got like that whole gold lush thing going on behind. So I've shown you loads of cards today, but we've made some quite different versions of cards. I think you'll agree. So we've got this one. We haven't made that one. I just wanted to show you that one. And then we've got this one. So we've done silver, gold, and copper. Not intentionally, but silver, gold, and copper. There you go. Like so. And then this stunning gold embossed piece on this one. So let's just move those up so you can see them a bit better. So I hope I've given you some ideas on how to use gold and florals at the same time, and some tips and techniques on things that you can do to keep cards simple but look stunning, and maybe bring in some texture with it to take your cards to the next level. So let us let's cut that one off like so. We can come back here, and then this isn't quite so bright. Oh, but I do need a little bit of light, but not that much. There we go. So let's do a winner. Have I got any questions from anybody? Have I not used daubers much yet? Yeah, daubers are good. I like daubers for certain things. Oh, thank you, Faye. That's very kind. Faye just said, I inspire. Thank you. That's so kind of you to say that. Oh, you got snow. Wow. No soggy leaves. No, absolutely. Sue says she's done mine with a thumbs up. I don't know what that is. You liked something, Sue, so that's good. I'm happy about that. Joe loves Nature's Harvest. That's nice. Yes, me too. What else we got? Paula loves the sunflowers. Hey, Lisa's on. Hi. Thanks, Lisa. Nice to see you too. Learned much by watching. Thank you. Thanks, Jean. I'm so glad you're here, and you did. Okay, shall we pull a card? Who wants to get one of my cards today? Make sure that you've commented and that I know who you are. So make sure that you've given StreamYard permission to know what your name is. I'll give you a couple of seconds. I might have another swig of tea. It's been an hour. Tea's sort of lukewarm. Oh, Lindsay, you've been on as well. Oh, look at you all. See, you've all been watching in the background, not saying anything. I'm so glad. Thumbs up, ladies, says Betty. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's share my screen, and we'll go and pick a StreamYard thingamybobby, how to use foil and flowers on your cards. I think I've kind of shown you that today. I hope so. Let's start collecting some comments. Here we go. 22 entries today. It's going up every week. I love it. Okay, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Let's see who's going to win today. It better not be me, because I did comment earlier. Who's it going to be? Faye. Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, congratulations. Right. That is really good. Really, really good. So I will be sending you a card, Faye, in the post. I don't know. Do you want one that's got, do you want this one by Jean, or do you want one of mine? It's up to you. I mean, I made this. It's not that I didn't make it. It's just that it was designed by Jean, but it's what you've got at home. It's up to you. It's either that or one of the, or I can send you a foil one. Let me know. Okay. And yeah, I'm so grateful that you interact. Oh, my choice. Okay, cool. So grateful that you interact and that you enjoy coming on here and seeing how you can use things. And, you know, my aim in life is to teach everyone to be a little bit more advanced, or try new things, or take a risk and do something with their card making. So I hope I've given you some inspiration to do that today. And as I say, if you want to learn how to do that in a more structured fashion, then come along and join my card making know-how membership, because it's a lot of fun and we get lots more like we do lots more interactive stuff with me directly. I spend most of my time in that group, chatting with members and seeing what they're doing and how they are progressing through the stages, and it's great fun. I love it. So that's that. If you want to shop from me, because I know there are some people on here who do want to shop, then that's easy. Just queenpipcards.com/store. So anything to do with Stampin' Up, Queen Pip Cards, anything to do with learning, cardmakingknowhow.com. That's my two arms that I run. It's like two hats. So there you go. All righty. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you same time, same place next week. Although, Betty, I think you'll have to lose an hour's sleep again, because I think our clocks go back next weekend. So, yeah, they do, 26. So, Betty, you'll have to get up a bit early again. I'm sorry. Sorry, they go forward, not back. Our clocks spring forward. So you'll have to get up, I think, a little bit early. So I apologise for that. But at least you've had a couple of weeks lie-in. All righty. Oh, thanks, Ange. That's lovely. So thanks ever so much. I'll see you soon. Have a great week. Happy crafting. Take care. Bye-bye.